Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're talking about all the beauty products, all of them. So makeup, skincare, hair care, perfume, all the beauty products that I loved the most in the year of 2019. These videos always get a little tricky to do because I'm rounding up the whole year, which includes like January, February, March, April. I feel like those were, literally, they were months ago. Additionally, when I do these videos, I try to pick products that are new because I do have those holy grail tried and true products that I always go back to, but I try not to include those in this video. But if you want to see those products, let me know. I could do like a holy grail video or something like that. Also, this year was a little bit different because I was pregnant this year and I had a baby this year. And so my makeup routine, my beauty routine, my skincare routine, all of that was a little bit different simply because of that. I was literally pregnant the entire year until September 3rd when my son was born. And then since then I've been postpartum. This was a little bit more of like an off year for me, but I still rounded up quite a bit of products. In fact, I originally wanted this to be top 19 of 2019. And I think there's a little bit more than 19, just a little. Okay, I'm gonna start with makeup. Well, this is kind of a makeup-y product, but I'm gonna start with the makeup and then hop into like the non-makeup type things. This year, something crazy happened to my skin and my scalp, and basically like my hands, just all of my skin got really, really dry this year, like super duper dry. And I think it's a combination of hormones, things like that from being pregnant. Also, just like temperature changes. I'm a newer resident to North Carolina, and my skin and my hair and all that is not really used to the drastic temperature changes that happen here. Like there's actually a winter and there's actually a fall instead of Arizona where I used to live where it's hot all the time. I had to kind of find products that worked for me that were pregnancy safe. One of the things that I kind of struggled a lot with was making sure that my face didn't look cakey or dry or cracky when I would put foundation on. And I'm a huge fan of powder foundation, which we're going to get into in a minute. But sometimes when you put powder foundation on dry skin, it just makes it look even drier and it just cakes up in weird places and looks really bad. And so one of the tricks that I would do is I would kind of spray like a more hydrating setting spray on my face before I put the foundation on. After I put the foundation on, specifically on my under eyes, I would spray my beauty blender with this product right here, like while I put the concealer on, and kind of mix it together to just make it more hydrating. So these are the two setting spray, and that's kind of how I use them throughout the year. So the first one is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. This one I liked the most for like pre-makeup and then after makeup all over my face. And then this one is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I've used so much of this. This product is so expensive, you guys. I would say this one is definitely better than the Too Faced one. The Too Faced one is good, the Tatcha one is better. Now on to the powder foundation, and the reason why I prefer powder foundation over liquid foundation is it's just quicker. For me, it's easier to get ready with powder foundation. I could do it really quickly, and that was essential for me this year. Kind of the theme throughout the whole year for me was quick, easy, no fuss, no budge makeup. The exception was when I sat down to film videos, I would usually, like today, spend a little bit more time on my makeup, put some lashes on sometimes. But you know, on the day-to-day, going to work, going to the grocery store, now that I'm on maternity leave, you know, going to Target, things like that, I'm not gonna sit there and put like a full face of makeup like this on. So the theme throughout the year has been quick, easy, simple essentials. Powder foundation is a staple for me, and these are the two best ones that I found throughout the year. I really, really liked Kat Von D's old formulation of her powder foundation, and I guess she just discontinued it for whatever reason. This new formulation I don't love as much. I think mostly because there isn't really like a color that matched me perfectly, so it just always looked a little bit off. But it is a really full coverage. You can see I hit pan on it. It's full coverage. It kind of like blends into the skin and looks really, really nice, especially when I sprayed the Too Faced on top of it. And then Makeup Forever recently, kind of like maybe mid-year, came out with this Matte Velvet Skin Powder Foundation. I wear the color R220, and it's a pretty good match for me. This one can get really heavy and really cakey if you layer it, so I always recommend to not layer it, just put one layer on and just leave it be. This one I've hit major pan on, you can see, and this is the one I'm currently using. I have one concealer in here, and the thing is, I really love the First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer. I think I repurchased that like 3 or 4 times this past year because it's so nice for drier under eyes. Towards the end of the year, r&co came out with a new formulation of their Naked concealer. So this is called the Stay Naked Concealer. And their old Naked concealer I really liked also, but they had the strangest colors. They all were very yellowy undertoned, and I couldn't find one that really matched my skin perfectly. I kind of stuck with it because I really liked the formulation, but I didn't like the color. Anyways, this one reminds me a lot of that, just they expanded their color range. They add more pink undertones. So this is the color 20CP, and I really like this one a lot. I don't love it as much as the First Aid Beauty one, but it's definitely, you know, a close runner-up for me. So I have 2 face palettes here. Now this one I almost forgot about. This is one when I was going through, I think it's like my March favorites video. I put this in there, and I'm so glad I rewatched it because I totally forgot about this because I got so obsessed with this once this came out that I kind of forgot about this, but both of them I loved throughout the year. So this is the Clinique, what is this called? Cheek Pop On The Glow Trio palette. It has a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter in it. I loved this guy so much. Look at how messy the bronzer is. It's just a hot mess. You can't even see the flower imprint on the highlighter anymore. I used this palette to death. I can't believe I forgot about it. I'm gonna have to start using it again. It is very much a springtime palette, which is probably why I haven't used it in a while since we're in the middle of almost winter right now. But perfect springtime palette. I love this palette so much. The colors just worked perfectly for my skin tone. And then, well, and then I got super pregnant and I kind of stopped wearing makeup. Then I had a baby and I really stopped wearing makeup. And then this came out. And then I became obsessed with this palette. So this is the Hourglass Ghost palette. It's their holiday palette for this year. In my last year's favorites video, I talked about their limited edition holiday palette for last year. But this one is better, I think. If you're unfamiliar, Hourglass, they add ambient lighting powders within all of their face products. They also have ambient lighting powders like individually, but they mix them into their blushes and their bronzers and things like that, their highlighters, which gives you just a beautiful subtle glow, like lit from within. It's like highlighting but without highlighter. Like, it's so pretty. And especially like as I was just feeling so blah about myself and so big and so pregnant and now so postpartum, sometimes it's nice to just add a little bit of like glowiness to your skin to just make you feel better about yourself, and I think Hourglass does a really good job of that. I've loved their blushes forever. This palette has a lot of my favorite products from Hourglass in it. Anyways, I spent a lot of time talking about this in other videos, but that has been a hit this year. Honestly, probably one of my top of the whole year would be that Ghost palette. As far as individual cheek products go, so the Fenty Beauty Bronzer, I'm pretty sure I talked about this in 2 or 3 different favorites videos. I just love this product so stinking much, you guys. This bronzer was like I just love it. I don't know what it is about it, but it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look muddy. I'm wearing it today in case you're wondering. It's a matte finish, so you can use it to contour with. I have it in 2 different colors. I have Shady Biz, which is the darker one, and then I have Into Sun, which is like the lightest of them all. Into Sun's a little bit more on the cool tone side, but it is a little bit lighter, so if I want to add more color to my face, I reach for this one. I've reached for Shady Biz the most of the year, which is why it's the one I'm holding in my hands right now. Anyways, I love the formulation. It's a nice soft, oh my god, why can't I talk today? It's a nice, soft, smooth bronzer. It doesn't look patchy or muddy or anything like that. Definitely a hit. That's probably the bronzer I've used the most this year. So I definitely love that. As far as blush goes, this is Charlotte Tilbury. This was the year of Charlotte Tilbury for me. I love Charlotte Tilbury. In fact, I could probably do a top Charlotte Tilbury products video, and I pretty much use her products in every single tutorial. But the reason why is I love her products. They're very expensive, they're very luxe, but I I haven't found a bad one yet. And so the Pillow Talk blush was one of those products that I think, you know what, I used this a lot this past year and it's definitely one of my favorites from her collection. I think the reason why is I love these mauve-y tones. My all-time favorite blush is Tarte's Exposed, which is kind of the same tone as this one. And I think that's why I love it so much, is it reminds me a little bit of Exposed, but there's just a little bit more luxuriousness to it. That little like pinky color in the middle has a bit of a shimmer to it, which then translates into your whole blush look. And it's kind of like the ambient lighting situation from Hourglass. So I love that individual blush. And then for highlights, Pillow Talk is what I'm wearing today, by the way. If you're wondering what's on my cheeks, it's Pillow Talk. And then this is the highlighter I'm wearing on my cheeks today. It's the Benefit Cookie. So this, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't sold on it at first, and I had this feeling like YouTubers were just overhyping the crap out of it. And when my mom was here, so she was here, I think it was when we were waiting for me to go in labor, which would have been late August, early September. I remember going to Ulta and I had this in my hand and I was gonna buy it, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't know, like I feel like it's being overhyped. I don't really want to buy another highlighter. So I didn't buy it, and then literally the day before I was induced, like I got the call to be induced, I was like, Mom, I can't stop thinking about that highlighter. I need to go back to Ulta. And I'm really glad I did. It's just such a pretty kind of slightly peachy highlighter, and it looks so nice on the cheeks. All right, I have quite a few eye products to tell you guys about. So the first one, and the one I grabbed when I was trying to count out only 19 products, was the Natasha Denona Biba, or is it Biba? I don't know how people say. I call it the Biba palette, which reminds me of Bieber, but whatever. It's her more neutral palette. So this came out probably like mid-year. Yeah, it's all neutral tones, and I used this palette. This one and the Tartelette Bloom, which I'm going to show you in a second, are probably my most used palettes of the entire year. I love this palette so much. It traveled with me. I was going to do my friend's makeup for her wedding. I ended up not being able to do that, but this was the palette I was going to use for her wedding. I love the colors. The color Monroe is my favorite. It's just a beautiful, like smoky, but like natural, shimmery, like perfect bridal color. I'm wearing that one on my lids today. I also really love the color Freckle, which is a beautiful, like mid-toned brown, which is perfect for your crease, but it's very, very expensive. And so that's why I wanted to talk about the little one too. So I ended up also buying the little miniature Biba palette to travel with. It has very similar colors, but it's cheaper. It's only $25 as opposed to like $175, I think is how much the Biba, the big one, costs. So I think this one's only $25. It's little, it's travel friendly, and you really can get a perfect eye out of this. I also used this when I attended a wedding in May. And then the Tartelette and Bloom palette is another one of those products I almost forgot about, simply because it was definitely more of a spring, early summer palette for me, and then I kind of put it to the side and started using like the Biba and stuff like that. But I used the crap out of this palette, you guys. I'm so surprised I did not hit pan on these two colors right here. So the color Sweetheart and the color Funny Girl, I used to death, you guys. I used them so much. The color Sweetheart is a matte, kind of like, I don't want to say pinky brown, but that's the best way I can describe it. It has like a hint of pink to it, and I love those types of colors. They're very hard to find, surprisingly, in a lot of palettes, and a lot of companies don't really make like the pinky browns, so this palette has it in there, which is probably why I'm so drawn to it. And then the color Funny Girl is just a really good all over crease color, or all over lid color. So those two colors together are like perfect for really quick, nice, like slightly pinky but neutral eye. And that's the combination I used for a really long time this year. So loved that. As far as individual eyeshadows go, I have, well, this Kaja one is kind of like a palette, so whatever, but it's the Kaja Bento Box in the color Orange Blossom. I bought this in May, and I really like this because the colors are all shimmers, and they're nice to like pop in the center of your lid when you want to do something super easy. I do it with my finger and it works really well. Here's a swatch of the top color, which is the one I use the most frequently. You can tell I like a lot of those like champagne-y shimmery colors for all over my lid. I just think they look so nice. And then here's the more orangey one. So this was really good for like middle of summer, closer to fall, just to get that little bit of like a burnt oranginess for your eye look. So that's good. I also have the bento box in Chocolate Dahlia, which I think I like a little bit more because there's a matte in it too that I really like, but I got that one just recently, so I can't call it a top favorite of the year yet. And then these two single products I used a lot. So when I don't want to use powder products, I will turn to cream products. The Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize is so good, you guys. I have almost all of the colors. My favorite is Marie Antoinette, but I love the color Jean. I love the rose gold one. And then recently I've been using, there's another one that's a little bit darker. Actually, I have it right here. Mona Lisa. It's more of like a dark brown, but those are so easy. Again, it's one you can put on with your finger, and then I'll grab a blending brush and just kind of buff it out around the edges, and it looks so good. Marie Antoinette is probably my favorite of the ones that I have. It's kind of like a taupey, like oystery brown, I guess is what you can consider it. And it looks so good. You can see it has a little bit of a sheen to it, and it's one of those products where, again, you just dot it on your eye. It's simple, it's quick, it's easy. I love it so stinking much. And then towards probably, I don't know why I have a lot of products I discovered in May, but apparently I do, no, you know what? I think I discovered these more in like July. The Bare Minerals Gen Nude, I think that's what they're, Gen Nude Liquid Eyeshadows. This one's in the color Pink Opal. I wore this when I was like large and pregnant and ready to go into labor at any moment, because it's just a pretty wash of color that was so quick to do. You could actually use the doe foot applicator and just pop it on your eyelid, and then I would again get a blending brush and kind of just blend out the edges. And when you blend out the edges, this product doesn't have glitter in it, but it has like a slight shimmer to it. So when you blend out the edges, that shimmer kind of blends out with it, and it adds like a, just like a fluff of glitter, not glitter, that sounds bad, a fluff of just like fairy dust, kind of like sequiny prettiness around your eyes, and it looks so pretty. So yeah, Pink Opal's my favorite, but I loved this and used it so much that I went back and bought every single color of this. So I really do like those liquid creamy products for my eyes when I'm in a hurry and I want something that looks good but doesn't take forever. Last eye product I have is an eyeliner. I talked about this in pretty much every single tutorial video that I did. It's my favorite eyeliner from the drugstore, I think ever. I think hands down my completely favorite drugstore eyeliner is the Maybelline Color Tattoo. This is the brown one. I want to say it's called a bold brown. This is such a good eyeliner. It is so dark and so like pow pigmented and so creamy, and it looks so nice on your eyes. You can blend it out with the buffer brush, but once it dries and sets, it doesn't budge. It reminds me so much of just like high-end eyeliners, like the Urban Decay, better than the Urban Decay. It kind of looks like Makeup Forever or Ardency In, those types of brands where the products are really expensive. This was only like $8 and it works so well. Honestly, if you're looking for a good pencil drugstore eyeliner, highly recommend the Maybelline Color Tattoos. All right, last for makeup, I have some lip products that I tried to narrow down. But these were kind of like the top products of the whole year. So starting with a more kind of like clear gloss, the Laneige Glowy Balms. I have 3 colors in this. I have the pear, I have the peach, and then I also have the berry. This is just the one that I saw and grabbed because it's green, so it really stood out in my collection up there. But these are kind of like the sleeping mask, but they're a little bit more glossy and they're a little bit more like daytime wearable, although those sleeping masks you can wear during the day too. But these work really good when you want to add just a little bit of glossiness to your lips. They're so soft, they make your lips feel so nice. And the other colors are a little bit tinted, like tinted peach or tinted, you know, pink or whatever. This one is just clear and it smells like pears. And I love the smell of pear. I don't know why, but I love the smell of pear. So anyways, this is like my favorite gloss of the year. I've definitely, I mean, I bought some for my mom. I think I might have bought one for my sister. I just love them. And right now they have a kit where you can get 3 of them for the price of 2. It's like a holiday kit. Highly recommend it if you want to check those out. Now this is a more pigmented gloss. It's almost borderline liquid lipstick gloss. It's by Hourglass, and this one is in the color Canvas, I believe. I think they're called the Unreal. There's 2 names on the bottom. There says Unreal and then Canvas, and I want to say Unreal is like, it's the Unreal lip gloss in the color Canvas, I think. I'll link it down below because I'm not really too sure. But these lip glosses are so nice. They have like a minty scent to them when you put them on your lips. They also feel really minty, but their colors are really, I mean, look at how pigmented that is. It looks like a liquid lipstick. It really does. They're slightly on the sticky side, but I like that sometimes because the stickier the gloss, the longer it stays on. And sometimes you just want a gloss that's gonna stay there. You know, even through eating and drinking, it's gonna stay there for a few hours. You don't have to worry about reapplying it over and over again. So I really like that. Plus the packaging is really nice. So as far as lip products go, this was definitely the year of like lip balms and lip gloss for me. Like tinted lip balms, again, quick, easy things to put on my lips, stuff I don't have to fuss with, you know what I mean? And so I went through and I bought and I tried to find the best of the best like tinted lip balms. There's a couple that I really like. I really like the Fresh Beauty ones. I really like the Bobbi Brown ones. NARS had a really good one. MAC has a couple of good ones, but my top favorite of the year was this YSL one. This is in the color 3. Is that right? I'm sure it has the color. I'll link it down below for you guys. But it smells really, it's YSL. I mean, it's gonna smell good. It's luxurious. Look at the packaging. It's cute. I got it during the Nordstrom anniversary sale. So otherwise I don't think I would have paid full price for this, but look at how pretty that pink is. So when you put it on your lips, it just gives you like a sheer wash of pink, and it also has like a slightly tingling effect to it, and it's hydrating because it's like a glowy lip balm. So loved that. This one was my favorite for the whole year. And then when I wanted to wear a lipstick, which was not very frequently except for when I was doing something special, going somewhere special, filming videos, things like that, I'll put on a real lip gloss sometimes. This one was my favorite. It's by Charlotte Tilbury, of course. She has so many good products, you guys. I think I am gonna do a Charlotte Tilbury favorites video. That makes sense, right? Anyways, this is her lipstick in the color Kidman's Kiss. It's just a beautiful, I wanna say neutrally pink. It's not too much on the warm side, it's not too much on the cool side, it's just a beautiful neutral pink. They have a slight vanilla scent to them too. And her mattes are really nice. They're very waxy, so you just want to make sure your lips are nice and hydrated underneath of it, otherwise I feel like they can feel like waxy. That's the best way to explain it. Like, I have one on my lips right now, so they, you know when you talk and you feel like your lips kind of stick together? Sometimes her mattes can feel like that, so just wear a lip gloss, I'm sorry, a lip balm underneath, just to kind of prevent that from happening. But they're nice and comfortable otherwise. They don't dry out your lips, and they look really good, and they look, you know, nice and pretty and matte. And I really loved this color, Kidman's Kiss. I have a few of her matte lipsticks, and that one is my favorite. Okay, now we have non-makeup products. So let's start with hair care really quick. So I talked a little bit in the beginning of this video about how my scalp was really dry. I went through so many scalp like detoxifying products and scalp scrubs and hydrating shampoos and so many of them. This was the only thing I found that truly consistently tried and true worked. And it's the Living Proof Restore Dry Scalp Treatment. This stuff worked so good. Other stuff worked, but it would make my hair look greasy, whereas this one didn't make my hair look greasy and actually worked, you guys. So it has like this little pointy tip on it, and when your hair is wet after you get out of the shower, you would basically like section off your hair in sections, squirt it down the lines, and then kind of like rub it into your scalp, then blow dry your hair. And again, it doesn't make your hair look greasy, and it worked so good at making sure that my scalp was hydrated and the flakes remained at bay. Now, after 3 or 4 days of using dry shampoo, I would get the flakes again, but this helped. It was the only thing I was able to find throughout the whole year that helped, so highly recommend that. Now, because I was having such a dry scalp issue, I really wanted to try to detoxify there's that word again, to just make sure that my scalp was clear from any like excess residue, excess hair product, excess dry skin buildup, because that doesn't help when it comes to flaky, dandruffy, dry scalp. So I would use a clarifying shampoo, and this one is really, really good. It's by the brand R&Co. They only have one clarifying shampoo. This is it. It's expensive. I think it's like 30 bucks for this bottle, and it's only 6 ounces, but you don't need to use it all the time, like once a month. And this is the only clarifying shampoo I have ever used that doesn't make my hair feel dry. Usually when I use a clarifying shampoo, my hair would feel just so dry that I would have to go in with a hair mask afterwards, or like a deep conditioning mask afterwards, to kind of like balance out the dryness from the clarifying shampoo. This one doesn't. It doesn't feel moisturized or like, you know, like a conditioner by any means, but it doesn't feel dry, and that's why I like it a lot. So really good. This is my second bottle of it. It's full because I'm still working on the old one, but I had to buy a backup because I like it that much. Bumble and Bumble is one of those brands that I find myself going back to their products over and over again. So this is a product that I fell in love with probably 6 years ago. Stopped buying it, rebought it this year, and I'm so glad I did. It's their primer. So their invisible oil primer spray. This is basically like the product It's a 10, if you guys are familiar with It's a 10. It's very similar to that, where it's kind of like multi-purpose. So it's supposed to soften, detangle, defrizz, tame flyaways, ease styling, protect against breakage, heat styling, and UV damage. So it's basically like your magical miracle product. I spray it on my wet hair before I blow dry, and it smells good and it makes my hair super soft. I used it today. I washed my hair today and I used it, and I just really like the way it makes my hair feel. I have the living proof version of this type of all-in-one product, and I don't love it. I also have the Briogeo all-in-one miracle milk thing. Don't love it. I love this one a lot though, and I do like It's a 10. I just haven't repurchased that in a really long time. So skincare is one of the steps in my beauty routine that I really had to minimize and just pare down. When I got pregnant, I had to eliminate all the acids in my skincare routine, all of the just harsh chemicals in my skincare routine. You can't use things like retinol or you know, glycolic acids, AHAs, things like that. So I really had to just stick to face wash, moisturizer, eye cream. That's pretty much all I did throughout the whole year, and still pretty much all that I'm doing. I've recently started to repurchase my serums and things like that to get back into it, but for the majority of the year, I didn't use any of that stuff. So this is something that I used quite a bit, and it worked really well. This is my third tube of it. It's the Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whipped Cream Moisturizer. This is their more like intense moisturizer. Mid-year they came out with the polypeptide, which is in the like greenish container. I have that one too. It's definitely more of a gel lightweight consistency, whereas this one is heavy. But I like this one more because, again, my skin is just more dry and it eats this up and loves it so much. I love this so much. Plus the packaging is really cool. It has one of those like airless pumps where you push it and it squirts out of the top. I don't know, something about that is just so cool to me. A very expensive product, but worth it, especially if you're pregnant and you are trying to find products that are free of all those harsh chemicals. This is also a clean brand at Sephora, meaning it doesn't have any parabens or things like that. And so I really like the Drunk Elephant brand a lot. I've recently repurchased their TLC, which is their night serum, because I want to get into using that again. I stopped using it when I was pregnant, but anyways, love that. That was my top skincare product of the whole year. All right, 2 things left, and if you guys are still watching this video, you are a champion. You are. Thank you so much. I have a perfume and then an honorable mention deodorant to tell you guys about. So this perfume is the YSL Mon Paris. The only way I can explain it is the one with the polka dot bow. They also have one that has a solid bow and one that has like a sheer bow. Specifically this one with the polka dot bow I love. I got this for Valentine's Day. Matt bought this for me for Valentine's Day and I love it. It's like a really pretty, it's like floral but clean and soft all at the same time. There's definitely like notes of, yeah, it's floral and clean and soft, but mature. I don't know. that's the best way I can explain it. I loved this. I also more recently discovered that I love the Toka Gia and the Toka Maya, which is the one in the purple bottle. I love those too, but those are more recent discoveries, so I don't want to include them in my like full year favorites. But one that I did love a lot is this YSL Mon Paris with the polka dot bow. And then honorable mention, like I was saying, is the Native deodorant. This is an aluminum-free deodorant, and it's the only aluminum-free deodorant that I have used that actually seems to really help. Now, aluminum-free, you're gonna sweat. You're gonna sweat. It's not gonna stop you from sweating. But what it can do is stop you from smelling. And so Native is one of the only brands that I think actually works really, really well. They have a charcoal one, and they're now sold at Target too, which is really nice. But they're cheaper if you buy it through their website. The charcoal one is black colored or like a gray colored, and it's nice because it doesn't leave white marks on your shirt. So if that's something that you struggle with, but they have really good scents, especially if you buy online through their website. They have like seasonal scents, and they bring out limited edition ones like for each season and things like that. This one is the grapefruit and bergamot, which was a summer scent. I really liked, they had like a mandarin one they had during the summertime, and I loved that one. But yeah, so definitely recommend checking out Native if you're in the market for an aluminum-free deodorant. All right guys, well those are the beauty products that I loved in the year 2019. 2020 is going to be a different year for me. I already filmed and uploaded a no-buy/low buy video, and I'm really gonna try to stick to that this year. I said in that video I was gonna treat myself to one new beauty product a month. Unless there's something like the Sephora sale going on or something like that, then maybe I'll buy a couple, you know, but I'm not gonna do these crazy giant huge hauls anymore for numerous reasons. But I still am going to do monthly favorites videos. I think mostly though, it's going to be like shopping my stash, revisiting what I already have, project pan videos, stuff like that. So if you're into those types of videos, then definitely stick around. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and kind of follow along next year with me. But it's been quite a year. It has been the best year, the hardest year, but the best year of my life. And I'm so glad that I was able to share it with you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.